I have closed over $70,000 in sales from online coaching. Yes, 70,000. And I'm going to teach you exactly what I did to get to this point through comprising everything I learned into a 5-step framework that allowed me to sign over 30 high-ticket clients. Now, starting with step number 1, this is the winner's character. I didn't have the necessary character to win, nor did I actually want to do the work that that character would do. Your character is comprised of 3 main things, which is your beliefs, your traits, and your skills. The issue is I literally had none of those, so I wasn't able to effectively make money and make sales. I really just didn't have the skills to sit down and get shit done, nor did I even believe in myself to get the results, even if I did want to go and sit down and do some work on occasion. Now, you've probably heard this too many times to count that you have to improve your beliefs and skills. Like, what does that even mean? Fundamentally, your skills are just consistent of the right behaviors to get what you want. So if you can elicit the right behavior, you could get what you want. And if you can do that consistently, then you can build a skill. Truthfully, there is no secret magic. There's not some book you could read, some course you can buy, or a $20 low ticket product that some random dude is selling you that's gonna magically change your life. The only thing that's gonna change is action. Because with consistent action, you can gain clarity on how to develop the necessary skills to win. Then through consistent feedback on action, you can consistently improve those skills, meaning you can more consistently get the outcome you want. But it all starts with becoming the type of person that's able to do that. And that's going to start with action, because the more action you do, the more proof you have to yourself that you can actually believe in yourself to get stuff done. So anytime you have this doubt, anytime you might have a limiting belief, what you need to do immediately is get to work. Then when you can get consistent feedback on that work and on that action, that's going to allow you to understand what is needed to be changed in order to improve, so that way you can make the next step, so you can consistently get the outcome you want, and you can develop the winner's character. Now, the issue is that even if you do this, sometimes there's just certain action you have to work on that's going to be higher leverage, meaning you can get more out of it than others. And this action is comprised of 2 different things: problems and opportunities. And that brings me to step 2 of my 5-step framework, which is the problem and opportunity frame. You need to put this frame on every single thing you do. Like, imagine looking through a glass frame and you're looking at something. Well, dependent on the color of the glass is going to make it look different, because if the glass is red, then it might look red. If glass is blue, it might look blue. You need to do the same thing with all of the action you do inside of your business, because there's a difference between problems and opportunities. In fact, a massive difference. The issue is that a majority of the time, especially as we begin into our coaching business, what happens is that you'll go down the route of taking on some shiny new opportunity that could make you a lot of money, but it could, but also this other thing could, and this other thing. And then as soon as you see another thing that seems a little bit more shiny, a little bit more fancy, maybe I just might go over there. That's what you're thinking to yourself, because you have doubt in your own ability to perform. The issue is that every single one of these opportunities, they're all the same. And the difference between that and problems is that a problem is fixing something that's already happened, and then once you climb over that mountain that you have to fix, or climb over that obstacle that is something that you already have to fix, what it does is it allows you to take the next step on the path to getting to where you want to be. The issue is that a lot of the time what we do is we decide to just take a completely different path instead of solve the same problem that's on the path that we're on now. And that's the biggest difference between opportunities and problems. So what you have to do is make sure that you're not going onto a different path, that you're not changing niches, that you're not trying to change your offer again and again and again. I mean, I've had clients that change their offer 4 or 5 times within just the time span we've worked together. And I mean, I'm not trying to sell you anything right now, just to give you a story behind this, is that I had this client that he changed his niche like 4 or 5 times, and he changed his offer, and he didn't make nearly as much progress as he wanted to. Well, the issue wasn't coaching, and the issue wasn't anything else besides the fact that he was impulsively changing to another thing based off of the opportunity that it could be great. The issue is that everything can be great because everything's been done before, but that doesn't really matter because although it could work, the question is, will you? Will you do the work? Will you get it done? Are you willing to sit down, attack the work head on, and then smash the work and then see another wall, punch it down, and the same thing again and again and again? The issue is, rather than solving problems, a lot of the time we tend to look at these opportunities, this influencers telling us about like, oh, try dropshipping or try this new niche or this niche is dead. You got to go into this one. Something like that where you get this advice, or maybe you get another guy telling you, hey, you should really do this. And then you have a person be like, yeah, no, you should go into this route because of blah, blah, blah. You're so good at it. Well, then they're kind of hyping you up like, oh, yeah, I am good at it. Maybe I will try that out. Stop. Hold on. Wait a second. The truth is that opportunity could work, but there's other opportunity could work, and all these different ones can. However, what you need to focus on is the 3 constraints in your business. It's either traffic, conversion, retention. Those are fancy ways of saying who sees you, so how many people see you, and then how many of these eyeballs that see you do you convert and make money from? And then retention is how long or how much money do you make from them. That's it. Those are the only 3 things you should focus on. And one of these 3 factors are lacking if you aren't making the money you want. So what you need to find is, which one is it? Well, is it the amount of people you're seeing you? If you even have a couple hundred people seeing you consistently, some people in your contact list, maybe a couple people in your DMs, a couple hundred followers on Instagram, and you've posted YouTube videos fairly consistently, you get a couple hundred views or more, then that's not really the problem. Because, I have like 70 followers on Instagram, but I've made money from that. And the issue is that most people just aren't targeting the right people. And that's the biggest problem that you probably have, is you aren't targeting the right people, so you can't convert them because you don't even really know, okay, who is this? Well, by the way, I actually did create a free community. It's the top link in the description that helps online coaches like explode their conversion completely free. I don't have like any low ticket course to sell you or some $50 thing or a private email list that I'm going to force you to get into. Just click there. You can completely join for free. That being said, what does conversion even mean, and how do you get that consistently? Because yeah, you might have the system, but how do you do that? Well, that brings me to step 3 of this framework, which is consistent conversion is key. Like, imagine if you even have 100 leads, 100 people that see you in a month. Well, if you can convert like 100, even, 20 of these people, 20 of them to a free call, and then even 10 of those to a sales call. So imagine you just say like, hey man, you want to hop on a call sometimes? I can just help you out for like with whatever problem you're struggling with. Well, if you know the problem they're struggling with and they know you can help them, then why would they say no? Why would they, right? And then on that call, on that free call, you go from there to getting them on a sales call, just being like, hey man, I know we talked about this problem you had. So I was just wondering, would you be interested in getting on another call with me to talk about this offer that I have that completely solves that problem? And it gets you to this goal, and you explain the problem and explain the goal based off of whatever they told you so far in the call. And then you get these 10 people on a sales call, and even if you close 5 of them, let's say you close 5 for $2,000, that's $10K a month already. Already $10K a month. But you might be like, oh, I don't know if I can get them to $2,000. That's a lot. Converting that many people, hard. I get it. I've been there before. That being said, it's easy once you actually know who you're talking to. Because communication fundamentally is saying words to get people to change their behavior. So if you're able to say the right words, which is called the messaging, which is called your messaging, which is how you say things. If you're able to have the right messaging, then what you're going to be able to do is convert these people at way higher amounts because you're able to say the right thing, which then allows you to communicate in the right way, which changes their behavior in the way that you want. And genuinely, the only way you can actually have that kind of conversion is through understanding exactly who you're talking to. I'm saying this again because I need to stress this point as how important it is. Meaning you have mental clarity on exactly what's going on in their current situation, including their goals, their problems, their pains that's associated with these problems, and you're able to articulate all of these with ease. Because you're probably talking to somebody sometimes, or you're trying to grow your business, and you're trying to do these things, but when you put something out there, it's like nothing happens, and you just think it's kind of a shot in the dark, and you hope it might work. It's because you're not saying the right things, because you don't understand who you're talking to. Once you can understand specifically who you're talking to and everything about them and what they want, you're able to create resonation. Then you can leverage resonation that actually breaks some of their beliefs, and you can just give them actual advice, like treat it like you're having a normal conversation and when you know you can help somebody out. Well, when you know you can help somebody out, maybe it's one of your friends or somebody, you're going to have conviction in that when what you're saying because you know you can help them. But you can only do that if you actually understand who you're talking to. But once you do, and you understand the limiting beliefs they have about their situation, for example, if you're talking to a friend and you're trying to get them in the gym or you're trying to get them to do something, but they're like, I don't know, I just don't have time, whatever. You know they have time because you've done it before. So then you're able to break these beliefs by talking with them and asking them the right questions and having a conversation with them. And that's exactly what you should do here on these calls. And then once you can break their beliefs and give them advice based around getting them closer to where they want to be, from there making the sale comes down to presenting your solution, so what you offer, the solution to their problem, as what they want. So you need to understand what they want, although what they want might not be exactly what they need. You need to present your solution as the solution to what they want, which is the solution to what they think their problem is. Then once they're sold on this solution that you've presented, I mean, that is literally your offer. And then you sell them on this solution before pitching your offer. Then making the sale is going to be so much easier because they're dying to work with you because they've already, one, trusted you because they built up this relationship with you. Two, you've helped them out and you've given them advice so they have a positive association with you. Three, they've sold themselves on the solution that you're going to be presenting to them. Like imagine you ask somebody, you're like, hey, so why do you think this was really going to work for you? Like you give them advice, but why do you think this is going to work for you? Well, then they explain it to you and you're like, oh, well, funnily enough, that's what I offer, right? So that's kind of the positioning you want to have. Give advice, present something, and understand their problem. And then once you understand their problem and you present something that's going to solve it, you ask questions to help them sell themselves on there, making closing so much easier. Because your solution that they've sold themselves on is just going to be presented as your offer. Which brings me to step 4 of the framework, the optimized opportunity offer. Now you can't just tell your prospect that this is going to help you improve whatever you're doing or make it better. Because just telling them it's going to make it better, they probably heard that from 5 different sources, 17 different times. That's not enough. What you have to show is the exact place they're going to be. It's not, oh, I'll help you improve. I'll get you here, by here, and if not, then I'll do this. What that means is you're going to, for example, help them maybe build 15 pounds of muscle in 90 days, and if you don't, then you'll refund them completely. Something like that, right? And then by having that unconditional guarantee, you're going to be able to more likely guarantee that they buy from you. And then now, the problem is delivery and actually delivering to them. With that being said, when it comes down to the offer itself and making sure they do actually buy, because, I don't know, maybe they might say no, they might have heard that from somebody else, you have to show that what you're doing is a different path. It's an opportunity presented to them because, as I mentioned earlier, most people love jumping on top of opportunities, not just fixing a problem that they have. Because the opportunity seems more shiny and it's easier to do and whatever that might be. So you have to position your offer as a new opportunity that they haven't tried before. So you're going to do this by confirming their suspicions about what they've done so far in the past, whether that's other programs, books, courses, that's certain beliefs they had, that whatever that might be, confirm those suspicions so that way you can then position yourself in a better light. It's like, yeah, none of that stuff even works anyways. In fact, I know you mentioned this one guy, and then what you would need to do is then almost not attack, but acknowledge the fact that this other thing doesn't work. It's like, yeah, that guy, he doesn't really help you anyways. To be honest, I heard from my friend John over here, he didn't get any results from them. It's like he just got in there and then they didn't even help him at all. And then by saying that earlier on in the call when you're trying to figure out what they've tried before, you're going to then be able to position your thing in a new path as a new opportunity, which they can go down instead of just some solution. They have climbed this big mountain that's in front of them. They want to turn around and go the other way, go down a different path that doesn't have a mountain there, that doesn't have any pitfalls, it doesn't have any caves, it doesn't have any, I don't know, jaguars in the forest or whatever. They don't want any of that. What they want is an opportunity that you can then provide to them. And this opportunity should be positioned around getting them to where they want to be faster and then also solving the problem they think they have. Because like you can pretty much position it like they buy from you. Oh, that'll just be gone. You can just sit back and that'll be out of there and you'll get here X times faster because you've have now the systems and the knowledge that you, like you even told me, that you don't have before. That's what you can say to convince them to make them think it's like, oh yeah, maybe he might be right. And then what you can say on top of that is ask them like, well, what do you think? Do you think that this path would even help you? Is this something you even are willing to do? Because then you're positioning yourself as like, I don't care if you buy this or even if you do this at all, whether it's for me or somebody else, I want to know what you think. And by positioning yourself like that, what you're able to do is you're able to effectively make them sell themselves on the offer that you have. And overall, making them do this and presenting the right offer is going to come down to genuinely understanding their current situation and asking the right questions and taking time to sit down and really just talk with them. And then from there, it's being completely honest and genuine with yourself and them if you can actually help them or not. Don't just take money to take money. Only have people buy from you that you can genuinely help and that are very specifically oriented towards who you actually help. Don't just take somebody on because you think you can kind of help them. They have to be specifically somebody who you can for sure 100% help. And on top of that, there's somebody who is like the people that you were planning on helping to begin with. Or that you know you can solve their problem very, very easily and you can get them to where they want to be. Because if you don't, even if you do end up taking the money, you might get them bad results. Or even if you get them good results, then you spent less time on the people that you actually can help. Which this is taking me to step 5, which is genuine authenticity for real resonation. Genuine authenticity really just means having an alignment between what you think, what you say, and what you do. The issue is that we try to change a lot of what we do, not what we think. You think, oh my God, I'm so nervous, I don't even know if I can help this guy. But then you try to front it and then you ask like a weird question, you say something weird, and maybe you post some sort of content and then you don't even know what you're talking about, or you're nervous like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like, it's a mess when you don't have that alignment. So what you need to do is think, what do I think? And then say it. However, a lot of the time that might be a little weird. So what you have to then do is learn. So in the context of business, learn what you can say to actually get somebody to do what you want them to do and convert throughout your funnel. And the best way to do that, especially on a sales call, is just through consistent action. Because more you do the action, more you can get feedback on like, hey, maybe I should say ask this question, or this guy responded really well to this. I'm going to try asking that again. And then you take feedback from like a lot of calls. And then you could be like, hey, maybe I should actually ask this question instead. And then you start getting that feedback, you start testing these things out, writing them down, and eventually you develop a pretty good system with yourself on like, you know what to say, you know when to say it, you know how to say it, and then you're able to communicate a lot more effectively. The best thing you can do around these prospects, just to, close people, yeah, but to actually help them out, is to talk and act like you would casually, right, around somebody that you know that you just casually act around. Now that doesn't mean you're sitting there with your shirt off, not even paying attention, not looking at them and any of that. But what it does mean is that you're open, you're honest, and you tell the truth. Don't try to move around something, or if it's like the price, or if it's a question you had about them or whatever. Be honest and be open and just talk to them like they're a person. And then this also goes for translating it over to your marketing and your content, or any, if you send DMs, what you have to do is you have to talk like you're actually talking to somebody, not like you're just trying to follow some script or whatever that might be. Like, act normal, act casual, and you're going to be able to get so many more results out of that because you're going to have the fundamental understanding of who you're talking to. And then that's going to then seep into how you say things, allowing you to act casually when you're talking to these people, making them more open to working with you, hearing what you have to say, implementing your advice, and then they create that positive association with you. Your whole goal anyways is to build a genuine relationship with this person, whoever this might be, especially if you're only making a couple hundred, a couple $1,000s a month. Well, that shows that you have the time to be able to just talk with these people. And yeah, maybe some of them won't buy from you, but that's fine, because at least they have the positive association with you and what you do. And then that goodwill with these people compound, because even if they don't buy from you now, maybe you just leave it off. Then 3 months down the road, then they're like, oh, hey, I know you were talking about you could help me with this, and I know you just gave me some great advice, so I wanted to reach back out to you because I'm actually really still struggling with this. Is there any way we could work together? That's perfect, because then what you're able to do is you're able to be like, oh yeah, for sure, let's just hop on a call, see if I can help you out in any way, and if we can, then we can get started. Like, that's amazing, and although this may not be happening to you yet, this can happen going into the future. Or maybe just a couple weeks after you last talked to them, you're like, hey, how's everything going? I know we chatted last time about your blah, 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 about this thing and that thing. How's that doing? And then you can just start a conversation and get to talking. Because as you build these genuine connections, you're able to more effectively sell to people. Because people don't just buy from anybody just because they want something. They buy from the person they are talking to. But if they don't even know you, and if they barely know you, then how do you expect them to actually buy from you? Consistent authenticity, truth, and value are the 3 key principles to getting real resonation with your prospects, with the people watching you, with anybody throughout your funnel inside of your coaching business. And until you can master these 3 things, then you won't be able to convert and close people nearly as well. But once you are able to, you're going to be able to do so much better, especially with the right conversion systems in place. And truthfully, you know you're going to need to work on those skills for conversion, and you know you need better systems to convert people, because whatever you're doing right now, you wouldn't have watched right now in the video if what you're doing has been working. And let's be honest, you not making as much money as you want is really fucking painful for you. Therefore, I created a private community where I'm currently teaching hundreds of online coaches how to convert really, really well, through teaching them the exact systems that I've used to consistently sign clients that pay thousands of dollars. That means they have access to methods and systems that they're using to destroy you in business. But the best part about this is that it's completely free. And go join now. Take the first step to changing your life. Imagine what even 10 more sales calls a month could do for your business. Just as we defined, close a couple of those, you make thousands of dollars more, all because you decided to take one step, click one button, and join. Or don't, and live like everybody else that doesn't take action, stuck in this consistent perpetual cycle of spamming random salesy cold DMs or content, shooting for a shot in the dark that never really works out anyways. The people we all know probably quit a lot of the time because they don't have anybody else around them, like inside of this community. The people who are going to live an average, mediocre, boring life, all because they don't know how to actually make money. The choice is yours, and I think we both know what is the right one.